Okay, now I'm going to go down here. I've been keeping this very close to the floor. This is the Orchids hybrid that I put in the basket, and I did a video on it, and I want to give you an update on that. It is very happy. Just an incredibly wide leaf that's coming out there. Now I can't wait for this thing to bloom this fall, and got lots of roots coming out. If you see there's roots going in and out through the moss and the wine corks, and it's actually adhering to these wine corks, even though they aren't real cork. They're plastic, but it seems to be a good thing for them because the roots grab a hold of them real nicely, and it's doing phenomenally well. I'm really happy with it. I keep this moist, which means watering at least every 2 days. If I let this go 2 days without putting any water on, it's dry. So I hit it almost every day with some water. And we'll put it back down here. Now, moving along, here we have an old hybrid. This is Miltassia Fort George Variety Beauty, and I've got 3 spikes on this here. Very nice for a 4-inch pot. Looking forward to see that bloom. It's been a long time since I've seen that, and it's doing very well, as you can see. And it's an experiment that's potted in cherry chips, which are usually used for charcoal to add flavor when you're making your charcoal fires for grilling. And I thought I'd give it a try, and it's doing very well with it. And moving along, succulent, doing very nicely. And here's some Cattleyas, almost always in bloom, it seems, is Potanera Huku Gem, and this is variety Freckles. All around it here is Cattleya Skinneri variety Alba. Nice sheaths. They will not open up till this spring, so they'll keep the sheaths all through the winter time, and then in spring the flower spikes will be sent out. Here's a close-up of the sheaths there. Beautiful white flowers, pure white flowers, and it has those diamonds in it that just makes it so pretty to look at. And I have a Hoya wandering through the bench here, and it's blooming nicely. Very fragrant. Hoyas are nice companion plants for orchids. And right here's Miltassia discolor, growing nicely. And some frags that I'm trying to bring along into bloom. Have some sad news with Cattleya hybrida here. If you remember, I may have mentioned that I made a cross with hybrida and rustic gem, or rustic spots, and unfortunately the flower spike did not make it, but that's the way it goes sometimes. So we'll move around here and go over to the other bench, and I've got some Cattleya seedlings here. Most of these seedlings are from SVO, or Sunset Valley Orchids, and Fred Clark. Here, this is, my gosh, was this my first video, I think? This is Cochleothes, or some say a Worsquixella discolor, variety Mendenhall. It's growing like crazy. Look at the roots on that. Very, very vigorous plant. It had, I think, 2 leads on it this spring. Now it's got like maybe 8. It's just gone nuts. I guess that's the definition of a happy orchid. Okay, and next to it here, one of my favorite orchids, not in bloom of course right now, but Dendrobium amethystoglossum, doing nicely. Behind it we have, this is a Cattleya capri. And it's got some nice flares on the petals there, as you can see. Bratonia does some very, very pretty things. Gives nice wide segments, especially the lip. Just gorgeous lip on this thing. And nice little plant. These are the dendrobiums that I have for sale. Excuse me. So they're doing very well. And next to it, some encyclias that are for sale. Again, they will be at the open house. In back of it here, show you, been blooming all summer. That is Brassia Rex variety Cicada. I know it's had over 20 spikes. I lost count, but it's at the tail end of its blooming. I think there's, I see one more spike coming right there. And that is the last of it, I believe. This is one of the very few that's in good shape yet. When it opens up, it's a nice green color like this for the background color. And it fades to a yellow and then yellowish brown before the flowers fall off. The flowers last about, I'd say at least 3 weeks. Very rewarding plant. And we'll move along here. These are, here's a Dendrobium farmeri, going all the way back through here. This line is all Dendrobium farmeri that from one plant that I broke up. It was all dead in the middle, and it was in sad shape. So I didn't know if it would pull through or not, but I decided to split it up, and it's coming around. It's just going to take a little while before they all start blooming. I see in the back here, this is Polystachya pubescens, and really its best view is from underneath. Very, very pretty little flowers. It's over a ½ inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch, and nice size plant, under 6 inches in height. Nice little thing to have in a collection. These are my Australian dendrobiums. They're pretty much finished with their growing right now. There's 1 or 2 that are still putting out a new growth, but most of them have finished, and it looks like that most of them, if you look here and also here, you will see that there's little sheaths. The dendrobiums don't put up much of a sheath, but I'm really hoping and thinking that these are going to be blooming this winter for me. These require a cool dormant period, My greenhouse gets down to about 55 degrees during the winter time, and it also they get almost no water during the winter, just a little bit spritzed on them. We'll go up above here. Again, always in bloom. Sorcerer's Apprentice. And continuing with things, as you can see right there's a new spike forming. The thing is literally never out of flower. Just real nice. And we'll travel around here to the back of things. Looks like Phragmipedium here is not in flower at the moment, but it has another bud. In back of it here, oh, hiding in the Cymbidium leaves. See if I can get the camera down here to give you a better shot. There we go. That's Phragmipedium, doing very nicely for me, I'm glad to say. It's been blooming for quite a while now this summer and has another bud or two coming. Very rewarding plants, these frags. I just love them. And here's another species that's always in bloom. This is Frag longifolium. In almost every one of my videos. These are coming near the end of their flowering time. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot more coming from these spikes. And I don't know, it may be taking a little rest after that. And down here some Cymbidiums that I divided up. Some of them are already in spike. The other side here of Brassia Rex. And here is Laelia bridgeri. I did a video on this for potting up orchids that require quick drainage, and doing pretty nicely. It's still putting out new root growth and a few new top growths here before it goes into a bit of a rest this winter. I give it a little less water. I don't stop watering it or anything, but in the winter time it just seems to want to have just a little bit less water, a little drier. And oh, here we have Phragmipedium in bloom. Pretty pink little flower, all in pastel shades. Just a nice little thing. It's another sequential bloomer, like I said, and it will keep blooming for quite a while. This thing actually is blooming off of a branch on the spike. If you look up above, you'll see the top part, and it's got a bud on also. And let's see, one more thing to look at. Nice cluster Cattleya here, and I have to look to see which one this is. That's Cattleya Wine Festival. Very fragrant, beautiful plant to look at, to have in the greenhouse. Even right now in the earlier part of the morning, it is very fragrant, and it's a very desirable fragrance too. Really like this thing. And it's to give you an idea, this is not the best that it can bloom. This thing will put out over a dozen flowers on a good flowering. So I hope to be able to grow it up a little bit more and maybe someday see that. So that's about it for the tour here. Hope everybody's plants are doing well this summer, and we'll see you again. This is Wade's Orchids saying bye-bye. See ya.